In the late 1800s and early 1900s, the Americas had Browning, they had Samuel Colt, they had Winchester, they had Henry. While in the West, they had the repeating arms, lever actions, revolvers, shotguns. Back in the old countries, you had Schmeisser, Luger, and Karl Walther. They were perfecting machine pistols, semi-automatic handguns, and weapons of war. Calibers that were more efficient, accurate, precise. Karl Walther, one of the fathers of modern firearms. Karl Walther was born November 22nd, 1858, in Zelle-Mehlis, Germany. Although commonly people say Walther, the correct German pronunciation is Walther. Being an industrious settlement village, Walther's father, August Theodor Albert Walther, was a brass and iron caster. His mother was Rosalie Wilhelm Amelie Pistor, came from a gunsmith family of Pistor. William's daughter, Karl Walther, studied under gunsmith Willibald Bartholomeus and later under Albin Schneider. Walther worked for the JOPP company in Zelle-Mehlis, making Mauser rifles. In the fall of 1886, Walther opened his gun shop in Zelle-Mehlis. Walther soon hired additional workers to meet the demand for the sporting rifles he made. In 1888, Walther married Mina Georgine Pickart, the daughter of the revolver manufacturer Christian Frederick Pickart, and they had 5 sons. With the success of contracting out manufacturing rifles for Mauser, eventually Walther's 3 sons ended up joining the firm. And in 1903, they focused specifically on making pistols. And that's exactly what everybody wanted. Walther had focused on making the first concealed carry smaller pistols. The Walther PP pistols were manufactured, models 1 through 5 and models 7 through 9, all chambered in 32 ACP and 25 ACP. The Walther Model 6 was the first attempt at Walther using 9mm. However, this pistol had problems with it and wasn't as popular at the time. However, the caliber was all the rage, being that Luger had just barely came out with his lock-breaching system. Walther's attempt using a slide blowback operation system, it failed. It took a while before they finally corrected this. What's cool about the Walther PP system, the Walther PP pistol, or the pocket pistol, features a trigger, a single action, double action. The PP has a slide-mounted decocking lever that also functions as the safety. It's mounted with front fixed iron sights. The front is a blade and the rear is the notch. Modern versions nowadays have the red dot in the front and red highlight in the rear. The barrel to the PP series is fixed. It also acts as the recoil spring guide rod, so it minimizes size and weight. Magazine is a detachable box magazine, single column, steel mags, capacity of 8 rounds for 32 ACP or 7 rounds for 380 ACP. It's approximately 6.9 inches long, 4.3 inches high, and has a barrel that's 3.9 inches. Weighs approximately 24 ounces, unloaded, steel and slide and frame. The finish is available in matte black steel or matte finish stainless steel. And of course the chambering is in 32 ACP or 380 ACP chambers. With the success from the PP pocket pistol line of pistols coming out from 1908, the company began to profit and began to contract. However, in 1915, Karl Walther had passed away. Following Walther's death, his son Fritz took over, and in 1929 the company began to make popular the Walther PP series. However, it was changed to police pistol. Following this, in 1931, with the first PPKS, Police Pistol Criminal Model, or Police Pistol Detective Model. Walther manufactured from their PP and PPKS in 22 long rifle, 32 ACP, which was the most common caliber they were using at the time, 380 ACP, and there was a few 25 ACP models manufactured during this time period. The overall increase of popularity because of the quality and how reliable these firearms were This was the new firearm and the best option to replace the famous Luger P08. 1929, Walther had released the PPK. Features single-action trigger, pull of 3 pounds 10 ounces, double-action pull measured to be about 11 pounds 8 ounces. Variations, it comes in 380 ACP black or stainless steel with walnut grip panels. There's also a 22 long rifle one that was made with nickel plating in black. The double-action single-action comes with the decocker thumb safety feature. Features a detachable magazine that holds 7 rounds, the hammer block safety, and a loaded chamber indicator also. There's an internal lock that holds the slide open, even though there's no slide release lever. The design has been honed nearly for almost a century. The ergonomics of the firearm were ahead of its time. Its width is 1 inch, length is 6.1 inches, barrel length of 3.3, height of 4.3, weight 21 ounces, capacity 7 rounds and 1 in the chamber. The PP models were the first mass-produced pistols with stamped parts. Still, the overall increase in dependability and high production quality with lower relative manufacturing costs made them the best option to replace the P08 Luger. In 1938, Nazi Germany awarded the contract for that replacement to Walther for the 9mm P38. Moving the production lines to the more easily mass-producible P38 once World War II started took longer than expected, leading to the P08 remaining in production until September of 1942, and copies remained in service until the end of World War II. The development of the P38 actually had begun in 1927, but the concept wasn't accepted in the German military until 1938, but production was still of a prototype test and it did not begin being listed until 1939. From 1942 all the way up until 1945, the company used slave labor from the Neuengamme concentration camp and operated its own factory at the camp itself. With the original factory destroyed in World War II, and Zelemies was in the Soviet Union occupation zone, Walther had reduced to just a collection of his designs and patents. Fritz Walther started anew and began manufacturing in Ulm, West Germany in 1953. The company resumed production of the P38, renamed it the P1, in 1957 to equip the new West German Army, the Bundeswehr, with sidearms. When Fritz had died in December of 1966, his son, Kerry Heinz, took over the company, concentrating more so on the sports sector and not so much the military of the time. With the original factory destroyed and all the new borders and lines and boundaries after World War II, Walther had to move the company on over to Western Germany. Luckily for this rebuild period, they had maintained contracts, began manufacturing pistols, and rearming the German forces as well as the police. With production of rearming police and the military of West Germany during the Cold War era, Walther also became increasingly popular due to the GIs overseas coming home and liking the pistols so much. Popularity of Ian Fleming's 007 books adapted into film, Walther and the PPK and the P38 became two of the most popular pistols amongst pop culture, featured in many video games, movies, etc. Eventually, Walther had actually moved to Arkansas, the United States, began manufacturing firearms there. You'd ask why Walther moved to the United States. With the demand in shooting sports in the United States and the popularity of the Walther PPK, Walther P38, this move made it possible for Walther to be in the United States market due to export and importation laws. Due to the focus of sporting pistols, which are a huge popular item, especially in the 1980s, Walther profited and continued to manufacture other pistols also for law enforcement as well. But those are firearms for another chapter and another time. Later on, Walther would actually be acquired by Umarex, who specializes in air rifles and air pistols. Walther continues to flourish today. Carl Walther, who'd have known over 120 plus years ago, would have ever thought what his name would mean and how far it's come today in this day and age in firearms. Thank you so much for watching.